Yes, today it's going to pain me greatly, but we're going to try and win the league with Manchester United. This one is called Man United League version 6. Now, there obviously are several versions before it, but it is basically based off of a tactic from the same creator called Manchester United Rebuild. It is based on a fully rebuilt squad. It is not based on what they're using now, who they have in the squad, and all of that. So keep that in mind as you go through it. If you throw the current Manchester United players, maybe that's a test we should do, but throw the current Manchester United squad in there, probably won't do nearly as well as it did for the creator using their own rebranded squad. So we're going to test it out though with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town in a holiday sim. So definitely keep that in mind as we go along. But let's just dive into the Premier League and see what happened. Well, the tester does have a pretty nice 88-point run with 58 goal differential in their Manchester United squad in their table. Unfortunately, our two teams not able to really come up with that here. 83 points for Liverpool, 91 goals, not bad. But Aston Villa in fourth, 77, kind of on the average mark. 93 goals, though, is pretty nice. But as we usually do, Liverpool lie in tops of the table, so we're going to start with them in their domestic cup run. Out in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, 0-0 in penalties to, funny enough, Manchester United. And then Arsenal kicked them out of the FA Cup in the fifth round, 1-3. And they can only get as far as the Europa League round of 16. Real Madrid kicked them out fully. Ouch. I think I've seen this before. So yeah, overall, this was definitely not the greatest of seasons for Liverpool. You definitely could pick it up if you take control of this yourself, do your own shouts, training, transfers, things like that. But here, yeah, they needed to do a much more better job. Squad-wise, it's still a nice sea of green there. I wouldn't say it's really above average, but you know what? What are you going to do? 16 goals for both Salah and Trent is tops, interestingly enough. It is spread around, I will say. There's a bunch in double digits, so that's nice to see. But 20 assists for Robertson, Trent with 16, and average rating Trent gets a 7.36. But now, can Aston Villa do any better in the domestic cup run? Unfortunately, not so much. I guess Carabao Cup third round, they definitely did worse against Arsenal 2-3. They got a little bit farther in the FA Cup, but still, Arsenal in the semifinals 1-2. However, they do get a trophy in the Europa Conference League final 2-0 over Fiorentina. Very nicely done there. So yeah, they still get Champions League next season. They got a trophy in the Conference League. It's not a bad season. Squad-wise, they definitely have more green than they usually do, but tops of the goals, 24 for Ollie Watkins, 22 for Diaby, assists 17 for McGinn, 15 for Kamara and Douglas Luiz, and then average rating John McGinn with a 7.22. Data Hub, Liverpool, they're through and through attacking like usual, but the goals just aren't there, and that's the problem. Defensively, they are actually covering all the bases to a degree, but still, should be pretty nice. Goals per game, 2.39, definitely lower than what they usually get, but 0.82 conceded, 0.95 XG against, maybe a smidge higher. Aston Villa doing a better job in the goals department, but overall, right about average, yeah. Defensively, a little bit worse than average, actually. Goals per game, 2.45, 1.53 conceded, 1.48 XG against, definitely worse than their average. Premier League stats, the heart of the matter, Liverpool with first in points per game, 2.18. Aston Villa in fourth with 2.03. Most goals, Aston Villa making the tops though, 93. Liverpool's 91. Tottenham just squeaks in the middle with 92. Fewer shots against Liverpool in fourth with 311. Villa all the way down in eighth with 431. Most possession, 55% for Liverpool, 1 down for Aston Villa. Most dribbles made, Liverpool making the list with 654. Best pass completion, 5th with 89% for both. And then most shots for first and second with 664 for Liverpool, Villa with 615. But now, how could a team in the championship do using this tactic? Well, they got first place, 108 points, 112 goals, nowhere near what we've seen at the tops of their game, but still. They got automatic promotion. It's pretty nice. Domestic Cups, Manchester United are here again, kicking them out of the Carabao Cup in the fourth round, 0-3. FA Cup fourth round, 2-3 against Arsenal loss. So overall, first place in the championship, that's good enough. Squad-wise, they've got some green, which is nice to see. They usually have about half of that, maybe. 11 goals for Hurst, Chaplin, and Broadhead with 10 apiece. Assist 23 for West Burns. Leif Davis is back with 19, and then average rating West Burns with a 7.58. Championship Data Hub, about the same locations that Liverpool had, but first in points per game with 2.35. Most goals, of course, in first with 112. Fewest shots against in second with 372. Most possession, 55%, sorry, for Ipswich in seventh. Most dribbles made in sixth with 732. Best pass completion all the way down in eighth with 89%. And most shots for in first with 778. But now it's time to take a look at the tactic itself. It looks very similar to the Pep's 3-2-2-2-1 that we saw yesterday. However, a couple of different positioning throughout the whole thing. But let's just dive in and see how it works. And again, this is based on a rebuild of the Manchester United squad, bringing them back to their glory days. This is not based on the current squad, so keep that in mind as we go through this. But sweeper, keeper, and attack is where we start. Wide center backs on the left and the right in defend, with a central defender in defend in the center. Complete wingbacks on the left and the right in attack. Segunda volantes in attack. Two attacking midfielders in support. Both are mark-specific positions. They are that DR and DL, as you can see right here. And then an advanced forward in attack up front. Attacking mentality, in possession attacking with his narrow. Approach play is pass into space. Focus played on the left and the right. Passing directness is shorter. Tempo is higher. Low crosses. Run at defense and be more expressive. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly, distribute to the center backs, and roll it out. And out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, stay on feet, step up more, and stop the crosses. So overall, how did it do for our three teams? I mean, not too bad, I guess. Ipswich in with 108 points, 112 goals, definitely on the lower side of their good, I would say. And Liverpool and Aston Villa, I mean, Aston Villa making the Champions League. Can't beat that, even if they got average points. Same with Liverpool. But I did take a look at the medical centers. They all had kind of varying degrees of injuries. I wouldn't say too many that are really huge. Salah was out for a couple of weeks here and there. Leif Davis was out for a couple of weeks here and there. So there were definitely injuries that hampered some of the progress. But I wouldn't say this is going to beat a 4-2-4 using these same teams and things like that. And again, this is a holiday sim. If you took control of this, did your own match shouts, training transfers, things like that, you could definitely do a better job and bring a lot of these numbers up on your own. But here, it worked. It was just kind of on the average mark. But that's it for me, Safi and FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.